do, I'm going to touch off on that inside. I've got another dial gauge at the back here that you can't see. Is that going to turn it to 0? Yeah. And then reverse the feed. Right. Just touch it. Just gone in 300ths of a millimetre. I want this inner diameter to finish at 14 mil. Awkward doing it, that's about the face. 14.22. Right. Let's put 200s on, we'll see where we get to at that. .1406. Near enough. 3/100ths over. That's alright. Right. Take that one off. use the one we made earlier. Reverse the feed on the lathe. Just touch off on that inside and set this carriage dial, because there's a bit more to come off that bit yet. Just till the scratch, come back onto the bit with all the cuts. I think you can see where we're going, can't you? So with 1403 on this side, $14.17 there. Let's check that. Right. Put about 15/100ths on there. Should just blend it in alright. Fiddly little things to make. $14.01. I'm not too worried about that, that'll do. Right, I need to know how wide we are there. 20 mils what we're looking for. It should be about 19. Yeah, 19. Just take half a mil off this back wall here. Bothered about that bit, but we'll just see if it cleans up. Well, that's fair enough for me. Right. So, take the crap off the side of that tool. Touch off on the inside. Three mils the width of the tool. 1, 2, 3. And that end wants to be 4.7 wide. There. I just leave that carriage dial on there. What we'll do, we'll just mark where we're going to be with it. I think that tip's about due for changing in there. If you're ever looking for nice little files to use on the lathe that have got safe edges on both sides, these are chainsaw files. This is a Still one, but Oregon ones are pretty good and what have you. So, right, that's what we want. This end wants a bit of a knurl on it. There's that many different ideas on knurling. You kind of have to come up with your own. So I bring it out, tighten it up, pull it back, slow the machine right down. I'm going to set the machine going as slow as it will go. It's 30 RPM. Stick a bit of oil on the alright there, quarter turn, just let it run around a few seconds, back out, another quarter turn. The knurl itself do the job, do the work. Another quarter turn. Better have a look at that. Yeah, it's not bad at all, that. I'm not going to put any more of a cut on it. What I'm going to do is just come to the outside a bit, go back to the middle, just slowly walk it to the edge. I know there's lots of different calculations you can do for knurling, but I've got to be honest, I don't bother. I've knurled all sorts of different diameters. I can't say I've had a problem. Well, I like these little chainsaw files. It doesn't matter if you go that catchy to the side, look, it's rounded. You don't mark what you've already done. Right, take the knurling tool out. Need to go get the tap on it. I'm still using the same drill and everything to tap these holes, drill and tap these holes should I say, as we did on the tool holders. But to be honest, I'm really impressed with these Banggood drills, can't believe how well they've gone. Right. Bringing the want to set the depth so I know at 30 mil I think is what we're on. 30 mil. So we need to drill in 35 mil. Carried away with myself there. Get the tap drill in now. Not taking much force to turn that in, so up to now this 10 tap's been doing quite well. What's it done? 25 holes up to now. Just see if we can clean that bit up a little bit. Bobby Dixon's DTI is as good as it looks. Nice zero on there. Straight back in. Never doubted you for a second, Bob. Break that bit off there. So. Blast for the airline. Right. That's one we've already done. I thought as much. I just had to run that tap through there a bit because we didn't quite get all the way through. Can't go all the way through with this tap. It's wider there than the actual end, so snap that off there. Another line. That's another one complete, lads. Even better if you can see it, right? Yeah, that's that one done. So I'll crack on and get some another 4 or 5 made. and then at least that'll give me what, about 11 tool holders in use, and then we can see about what we're going to do with the others. So I think with that bit of video footage and what we've already done with that wood plane, I think that'll about do us for this week. Or for this video, should I say. So. Right, see you next time. Cheers boys and girls. Now we've got 5 of these all done and finished. As you can see, I've been using that one, so that's alright. So we've got to think about what we're going to do next. Now this is an offcut. If you're going to make these tool holders, you'll have a think about this, because it's actually turned out to be quite a good little thing. So if you see the dial indicator there with the back plunger on, what I want to do, or what I would like to do, is mount one on the front of that. So this will be on the tool post, yeah, and we'll use that for indicating in the outside. And I've got a smaller one here that I want to mount on the back, so I can just take it off the tool post, flip it, and indicate the front face. Now the problem is, I just haven't quite got the room to get both of them in. What I need is another small one of these dial indicators. So I've had a look, but I can't find one at the minute that size. There are some Mitutoyo 10mm travel ones, which I think is what this is, yeah, but it'll be too big, too long overall, so I need to find another one of these. I'll have a word with Bob Dixon and see if Bob's got one, if he wants to sell one, if he's got one that small. I mean, this is from nose to tail just under 90mm. 90mm is, what's that? Just under 3.5 inches. So if I get 2 of them, another one to brother up to that one, then they'll go on to there, and I'll be able to use this for 2 dial indicators, so it frees up 2 tool holders, and just a good way of doing it. So if anybody watching this decides to make their own tool holders, if you think that this is a good idea, which I can't understand why you wouldn't, and you're going to make one of these, just check with your dial indicators first to see how long it needs to be, because it wouldn't have took much to make this another 1/2 inch or inch long, and then I'd have been alright. Then I could have put 2 standard dial indicators on, but anyway, we've got what we've got. So what I'm going to have to do is drill and tap that for M6 on the end, and I'll do the same this end, and then all we've really got to do is drill and tap one centre hole there for the adjuster screw, and then that one will do that. Now I've been thinking what I'm going to do with some of these others is what we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We've got 12 tool holders still to go at. So what I've got here is a piece of 1/2 inch silver steel. I think you boys across the pond in Yankee land, America, call this drill rod. I'm not sure, I might be wrong there, but so what I'm thinking is some boring bars, and what I might do is use one of the wider blocks, because if you remember when I machine these up, look at the difference in the thickness between those two. You know, there's a lot more meat on this one. I've got several like this. So what I'm thinking of doing is drilling a hole dead centre, boring it through, and then reaming that hole out, and just have 4 screws on the top like we have on the other tool holders. But what I'll do, the end of the screws where they go through and contact the silver steel, I'll just drill the ends of the screws out and push some little brass tabs on the end of them, so it doesn't mark up the silver steel when you tighten them up, because it'll be a reamed hole, and if you was to mark that up, then you may not get it out again. But I have some, these are some of my other older boring bars. That's the sort of style. Look. So you've got that type, and then you've got the type just on the end. That's several here, look. Stefan Gottersvinter, I watched a video of his when he was making some of these boring bars, and I thought it was really good. So that's my sort of take on it. Look, I have got some carbide boring bars like these, a bit bigger as well. But if you, once you're getting into a bore and you want to take a real fine cut, you know, if it's quite a critical size, these, for me anyway, I can get a lot better finish and a lot truer cut with these than I can with a standard carbide boring bar. What these are in the end are just broken off carbide bits, you know, carbide end mills and stuff that I got from a friend of mine who was a CNC place. I got a bag full, so I literally just drill and ream the holes to suit, put the carbide in, grind them up. They last a lot longer than high-speed steel, but I'll be honest, when I've made these before and I've put high-speed steel bits in there, they work just as well. You can get such a sharp edge on them when you hone them up, and they work really, really good. So if I was to bore one of these blocks like that, drill it and ream it, then I could make up several different boring bars out of this length of silver steel to suit. Unfortunately, none of these I've got here are 12mm, sorry, 13mm, half inch, but it's not a problem. I've still got plenty of these other tool loaders to go that I'll just slot these to put some of those other tool boring bars in. So that'll take care of that kind of thing. I'm thinking, I don't know whether I haven't took this apart yet, but I want to have a look on. Oh, it's just clamped on the top, look. I need to figure out if I can machine the side of one of these new blocks up to suit to take this parting off blade. Obviously I'm not going to be able to do it the way they've done it there, but I have got a parting off blade on one of my other old tool holders off the Bantam lathe, and it's different to that, so it might mean that I might be able to copy that and figure out a way of doing it. It's just that when these are in the tool holder, you've got a lot of overhang, haven't you? If you get that blade in line with the edge of this tool, with the edge of the tool block, it would make a much more rigid setup. However, saying that, I parted off a piece of 5-inch steel the other day with this. I just kept inching it out until I finally got to the middle, and I couldn't believe it, but I managed to part it off. You know, I was watching what I was doing, but I couldn't believe it that it did it all right. Like, it's just that this Colchester Master is such a rigid lathe, like, I think that's the only reason why I could do it. So we've got that blank there. This will be the first one that I do now. Got a couple of bolts or Allen screws, got tap and dies down here, so I'll work out exactly where I want these screws in the end. I'll just put a bit of blue on there and then some scribe lines, and then we'll get it on the mill and get that one done. I've seen my subscriptions have come up quite a bit just recently since I've been doing these tool blocks, so I'm hoping from that I must be doing something right. So I'll just say thanks to everybody that's come on board, and I've been looking at the comments and that, and having a quick look back through at some of them, and I'm really chuffed, to be honest. It kind of makes you want to sort of do a bit more. I'm a little bit and my hands are tied a bit, to be honest, because this time of year is the busiest time of the year for me as a heating engineer, plumber. So there's only so much time I can get out here, but I'll keep going. The video once a week seems to work okay. I just hope everybody's not getting a bit pissed off with the same thing each week at the minute with these tool holders. As you can see, there's still a fair bit of work to do on them. They're all ground up now, all ready to go, and they're all deburred, so it's now just a case of deciding what's going to go in where. I've still got my other plan, while I remember, is I've got a couple of pieces of high-speed steel here. Now, on a couple of these tool holders, the slightly narrower ones, this is the one I was saying I want to mount the tool in it, I want to put 10 degree on there like that when I cut the slot for this, but I'm also sort of wondering if I can twist it slightly. You know, if I twisted it that way, put 5 degree on there, so I put that top relief on as well as the side relief. All I've got to do is grind that side and the front. It might make life a lot easier. I know some people might watch and you might say, well, the trouble with that, Al, is when you're turning, if you get a lot of tool pressure on here, there's a chance it can push the tool back in the block. Well, I've always realised that, but what you got to remember is I wouldn't be using this high-speed steel for taking real heavy cuts. It's really going to be for, you know, some fine finishing on, you know, well, anything really, whether it's hard or soft, it doesn't really matter. I've got 2 real good bits of, I know it says China on there, but don't be put off by that. This was from MSC. This is really good quality high-speed steel. This is cobalt. Got to have to take some grinding. But yeah, I'm not worried about it pushing the tool back in the blocks because it's not going to be having that much pressure on it. And for hogging a lot of material off and, you know, taking a lot off quick to get down to whatever it is I'm doing, I use the carbide, so that's no problem. But there's one of the tool holders, look, that I made a long while ago for the Bantam. You can see the difference, can't you? Yeah, third bigger. I snapped the blooming screw off it now. I've got to get that out. So. And then I'll just sell the put the Bantam up for sale beginning of spring, I think. Get that out of there. So that's where we're up to anyway, boys. What should I say, ladies and gents? So we'll get onto the milling machine next, and we'll get this marked up, ready to go, and yeah, that's it. Yeah, onwards and upwards. We'll do the outside ones first. Do it twice just to check. Bring that in on the sail. Zero that. Seven, eight. So we'll come in 354. That's good. edge, so can't remember actually how far I want it to come. 8mm, so we'll switch it over to that. Over to the metric system. So that should put us centre to there. Right. I'm looking for one of these little fellas. I managed to find one. I got told off from Mr. Dixon. He said I shouldn't be using a centre drill. I shouldn't be using it like that either, should I, Bob? That should be a bit more like it. Find a bit of oil. Right, so for M6 it's a 5mm drill. And I'll zero the knee, just drop the knee down a bit. Now I need it to go down 800. Took us down 800 to where we needed to be. Right. I'll just go down like here. Trying to do this and keep my fat hands out of the way. Might be easier said than done. Right. Just going to have a look for a slightly different tap wrench to that one. Try again. This is the bottoming tap now, so should be able to go right to the bottom now and then. A little crunchy. There we go. There we go, right. I'll just pull that back to the spot. I'll just countersink the top of that, and I'll do the other side, and we'll flip it over and do this one in the middle. Two done. I'll run the tap back through that one again. That's more like it. Yeah. Get these old parallels on the surface grinder, I think. A bit tall. Right, so we'll have to find centre this way and in 6.6mm like we did before. 4.072 divided by 2, 2.036. 2.036. Right. Zero that. Find this edge. Swap it over to metric, and we want it to be in 6.66. That's not too far out. I've had a bloody cold for the last week and a half, and I can't get short of it. Yeah. Now this one wants to be 600 thou deep, so I don't bust through the bottom. Just making sure I'm drilling the right side. Zero the knee, we'll wind the knee up. Not that good. Don't think that countersink will be. No, it's slightly bigger one. Oh, what's the matter with you? Tap it M10. Should be that. That should be. that should be that one done now, barring get a screw for it. Fella should just slot into there. So all we've got to do now to finish that one is to make another adjuster. We have a gauge there. Courtesy of Mr. Dixon. Thank you, Bob.
Yeah, right, boy.
Yeah, mate, how are you? Oh.
On the video, eh?
Yeah, that's alright. No problem.
Aye?
No problem. I'll just stop it. What are you on with? I don't know where we got to then, because I had a visitor turn up. So that's that one onto there, and you can see my dilemma. Look, if I go to put that one on that hole, I'm near enough the width of the hole, so if I find myself another one of them, I'll get them both on. So if I make another adjusting screw for that one, so tool post, indicate the diameter, flip it out, or that way, drop it in, indicate the front. So that frees up 2 more tool holders and makes use of that bit. So right, on to the next one.